Hello, Malcolm. Hello, everyone else. Welcome back to Avorion. Today's episode is probably just a shorty. I just wanted to introduce you to something. This really was a labor of love. I'm telling you, it was a labor of love. And like my labors of love so far in this game, it came out far worse than I could have possibly anticipated. Just far worse. Anyway, it's my first attempt at a really large ship. It steers fairly well. Let's turn off the gun pods. It steers fairly well. It doesn't stop as well as it needs to. It's a little wallowy, but rather better than the last ship that way. But unfortunately, in my struggle to make a new shape and a new form, I'm always doing that. I'm always trying to just take it to the next level, even though I suck at it. I ended up with a giant chicken. I did not mean to make a giant chicken. I thought it was going to be like a bat manta sort of thing with a sting in its tail of lightning and so forth. But no, it's a giant chicken. And I really did work really hard on it. And believe it or not, I actually worked really hard painting it too. I think it might look better with no paint on it. So we'll take a little Google around it here. Pop. Ooh, shield blur. I think you can turn that off. There's a button marked ambient occlusion. So you can see there we've got our beak, and I gave in to the chicken motif and did color it beakishly. We got our Xanian stone gun pads all built into the beak. Big problem with this ship is the firing window. Got guns down on the tail too. Originally I had all lightning launchers down on the tail, and I decided I hate the lightning guns, and I took them all away and sold them. I've been a fool, because of course I'm planning another ship, and of course since I sold everything I don't really have enough stuff for it now. Anyway, this thing is really ugly. It's better than marginal in its space performance. It actually drives fairly, as you can see by the drifting modes, it wallows bad. Like if you take some side speed here, and then you turn back and you try to use thrust to re-straighten, you're in trouble. I do not want to damage it on those rocks. I am planning probably the last of my mothership class here. I'm planning a gigantic thing that I've been busy building, and getting it to steer was really tricky. I'm hoping it stops better than this. It doesn't have a huge amount more braking thrust, but it does. Well, I think it's depending a little. Oddly enough, I think it's depending more on thrusters, although this thing has an insane amount of thrusters. This thing also has quite a lot of the yaw and roll and stuff, gyro boxes in it. They're pretty expensive in terms of what they take. Like, you've got to use good materials, but whatever. But you've got to use up a fair amount of mechanics and other stuff on them as well. And they don't give you perfect space handling. They do give you the ability to amp up your numbers a little bit in all the yaw and roll and stuff. With this ship, I'm really having to learn to use the roll buttons. Banging the wings on stuff is a constant hazard. It's a pig that way. I don't hate it. When I first built it and I realized it was a chicken before it was even painted, I almost died laughing. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was struggling away, and I just about died laughing. I was like, oh my god. Gave it big glaring chicken eyes to make it a bit more predatory looking. It works okay in combat, but I'll pop on the guns, and as you can see, the firing window is very wide and odd, and very far away from where my lead crosshairs is. And the harvesting lasers here, they work and all, but even though I moved them to a slightly better location around on the sides of the beak, they still have really such a bad firing window. You have to be at a really exact range and stuff to have them work. So she's a bit deficient in eating with her beak. The intention was that she eat with her beak and strike like a scorpion with her tail and many other things. The intention was. The reality is it's a pretty decent ship. It's a little wimpy in combat compared to the last one, but it handles a lot better. So trade-off. It's pretty good on shields. I think it has 9 upgrade slots. Maybe it has 10. Let's take a look. It's got 10 upgrade slots. Okay, the new build has 13, and it's much, 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 much bigger. Twice the size, more than twice the size. I'm not sure I have enough resources to build it right now, but that's what I want to do. I'm parked here in this sector because it's friendly space and they just patched the game so that the number of... Oh, look, what's going on over there? Oh, it looks like they've got it handled, but they're blasting up a trading post, which is like, if they blow the docks off, I can't use it, you know? Maybe I better head over. Oh, Snoopy. Oh my god, my dog is exploding. He's just explodey sometimes. Well, Joe might drop by today. I think he had something he wanted to do here. Little Joe is a friend of mine, lives up at the trailer park here in Van Anden. He pops by fairly often for a chat and stuff like that. So if they haven't finished this off... Oh, aliens are about to show too. Short bursts of subspace signals. We're deep enough in space that I suppose these combats can be a little nasty, but not deep enough that the Great Sky Chicken will have any trouble. These guys really are focused in on this. I think they'll have him finished before I'm anywhere near. I should get a scan to get distance here. But I don't know. Just gonna head in. What do we got here? Why is that firing on the trading post that I have good relations with? Oh, I don't think I have good relations with that. No, I have hateful relations with that trading post. But it's not abhorrent, so I'm not... Ooh, imagine the goodies that'll blow off a ruined station. Oh, it's still at 97%, but it's falling fast, and it doesn't look like anyone's here to help. You'd think they'd be sending some vessels. Oh, of course not. No, it's not their trading post. Oh my gosh. There might be such a pile of goodies at the end of this. We could take it to abhorrent and just start harvesting the things straight off the bat. Like just fire on the harvesting lasers and let her great beak peck at things. The Syndicate of Glitchjowl will then hate the snot out of us, but they're already so disappointed with us in some way that they would open fire if they saw us anyway, so we won't really be changing anything if we go ahead and just take a bit. We could just take a bit. I mean, look, it's right here. I bet you there's a big power core. Ooh, that makes the relations worsen so quickly. I don't want to hang around here and just wait and it'll take all year. It's down to 86. They're melting it pretty fast, but no, I could, right? Oh, look, no, here comes the support. I could wipe out the support. Yeah, because I do want this sector to myself, right? So I could total wipe out the support. That's a bit better than preying on a civilian, isn't it? Let's wipe out the support. Whatever, screw the Syndicate. Oh boy, are we losing relations with them in a heavy degree, but whatever, we're gonna rip this thing apart here and see what kind of goods it brings us. Because this is a friendly sector that we intend to use for some pretty hefty hiring. And if we can pick up a little resources on the side, there's absolutely no harm in it, is there? I don't think he'll last. No, I don't think he'll last. Oh, he's still alive. Now he's not. Fini. I want all these credits and things, but man, it's not worth damaging the bird to get this scrampy stuff, right? I'll just grab that up. And then what do we got in terms of hatefuls here? They're now abhorrent with us, just like pirates generally are. So let's not bump anything, and we'll just smoke that puppy. Poor thing, it's not a really very strong ship, is it? Its support mission didn't go well. It's kind of rough. They have this trading post out here, and it just doesn't work out for them. Looks to me like I can get a couple of reasonable smelling upgrades here. Let's just not bang our tail on our friends. Oh, this thing wallows like a brute. Well, I am used to more of a dogfighter ship. And I gotta say, I'm sure everyone gets mothershippy in this game, right? Everyone wants to build that one galactic cruiser that's the super ship of all ships of shipping. Come on, would you just grab it, use your big wing, and take it? Now that we're at abhorrent, we could totally... Ooh, a large group of alien... Ah, I banged the wing. No damage, though, thank gracious. Well, let's go take on the large group of alien as best we can, and maybe they'll have finished that station off by the time we get back. But we kind of need this sector to stay alive, like Folks and Peebles here. We actually do need this sector to stay alive. I mean, we can just move to another friendly area, but I picked this one because it has a ton of mechanics for hire. And the new build really requires a lot of them. We better watch our speed, Casey Jones. The new build, well, it looks as though a really refined anvil engaged in a morganatic marriage with a common office block, and the end result is basically your flying skyscraper, and it's got a ton of enormous thrusters and stuff on it. At least I distracted these guys from wrecking up the stuff I want to use, right? And yeah, the Sky Chicken can handle this kind of work, that's for sure, but these are pretty low-end ships. And she just does not. She doesn't hit with all bullets all the time. She's really tricky to fire with. And no mistaking the matter. Like, look, he's at 1.7 kilometers. I ought to be completely toasting his butt. Which I've done, but it should have happened faster. Oh, this guy gets the harvesting lasers. He's close enough for them to work. And he's done too. So we get some relationships improvement. Looks like we got a nice few upgrades here. There's one of them sort of reddish ones. I believe that is exotic grade. Grab that up. It's a turret too. Turret upgrade. That's nice. Exotic turret upgrade. It could be another MTC5, something like that. Those are really desirable, especially with the new build coming in with more slots. Oh god, this is so hard with this ship. Roll button. Roll button, roll button. That's the ticky. Come on, get that green one over there. Let's just sniggle over there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on, grab her, grab her, grab her. It's so much easier with a more agile ship. I was just, with the last ship before this that had the stacked flat thrusters that no longer work, I was nipping through wreckage like a goldfish. You know, I was just zooping around, and it was a fair-sized ship. It was a considerable ship. Now pirates? I don't even have time to harvest this. Pirates you get kind of paid for, so, you know, despite the fact that it won't be a great deal of money, I think we kind of want to be the ones to get the last shot in, because that's how she works, I think. If you get the last shot in, you're the one. So we're going a little fast for this bit of work here. Let's just open up on him. We do have a bunch of long-range weapons, but we just can't hit Snoot. The friendly's going to get in the way before we finish him, isn't it? Come on, friendly, don't do it. We got such a rotten, stinky firing window. Come on, pirates, stay where you're supposed to. There we go. Oh, thank gracious. Now this guy, let's just do both of them at once, shall we? We'll just hose them down with the Eagle's power. With the Eagle's power. Oh, don't get in close there. There's another nice upgrade of mine. That's mine. You get away. Oh, look at him. He's total. Like, he wants to steal my upgrades in a big way. Actually, you know, he appears to be cruising into the distance. I'm just a little jealous of those nice upgrades, you know. Doesn't even really matter what they are, although I'm hoping to get some sweet stuff for the new ship, right? Hoping to pick up maybe... Well, I've got a really good radar upgrade for it, and it's going to be necessary because its hyperdrive has scodes more range than its radar does. And I've got the ones that are in this ship, which are all very good upgrades. And I've got a few, like, I just have such a limited stock right now. I sold all this stuff. I accidentally sold a legendary item. Oh, such a fool. I've been really wanting to try out and see what happens when you put all legendaries into a research station. I'm assuming it'll just probably come up with an alien artifact, most like. Are those more pirates right there? Are those more? No, that's cargo transports from that syndicate of Clicksgel. They must be right neighbors here. Is that trading post still up? Or have they blasted that to Rubble? They've blasted it to Rubble and it's over there. Or no, that's more about my own rubble. But it looks like there's stuff in it, so I'd better zone in. I'm kind of hoping they haven't blasted that trading post to rubble yet, because I want to get over there and try to score anything. But look at all this. Oh, it's going to time out too, or else someone else is going to get it. What a poo. It's a wrecked freighter. They must have just wrecked it. Sweet. I mean, not sweet for the guys on the freighter. Oh, we banged the Eagle. Didn't get her damaged. Didn't get her damaged. Alright, let's pull out of there. That's a pretty good score. Eagle's paying her bills right now. Sort of. Her bills are large. So, is that thing full Shrek'd? Is it done? No, it looks like they're still on it over there. We'll scan it up. Well, we'll just hustle boot over there, actually. Let's roll the Eagle around that. I think we picked up the item. Yeah, we did. We'll just hustle boot over there and see if anything's fallen off it. That's really nice. Distance 42. Looks like no obstructions of a major nature, but we'll stay clear of that wreckage. This thing can sprint forever. Oh, he's still at 84%. And there's no one attacking him anymore. I'm not going to wipe a civilian thing out like that. That'd be stompingly wrong. So, what? Back over here? Again, I'm not going to attack these cargo transports and loaders, but they're getting fried. So they'll probably drop more tasty gluck. I don't know. I just came here to introduce the Star Chicken, really. Luckily, this gives the mechanics I've packed her with a chance to train a bit more. The new ship needs way more engineers and mechanics, so I loaded this one to the bulwarks. I did not take it over capacity because I want my crew morale to stay max. I don't know what that does in the game, but I think it's probably just wise. And I didn't dump my security team, because they're... Did we just hit something? I think we did. They're getting trained, and eventually boarding will be implemented, and I want to have a good security team on hand so I don't have to load the ship with untrained security officers in order to protect it adequately. Oh, it looks like there's some cargo floating there, actually. This is not fruitful enough to... oh, there's a green one. But boy, the risk level on the ship is climbing here. My dog wandering around. It's about time I took him for his walk, actually. Oh, stop that, Snoop. He's goodling away at the door. He sees an animal or something outside. There's a foolish cat that hunts in my yard. Stupid creature. We're not picking up the cargo because I guess it would count as stolen cargo. And I think the dog sometimes sees that cat and he wants to get it, and he will kill it. He's a less than completely nice dog. He's a wonderful dog. Like, he's a pleasant friend to have. He really is. But he would kill other animals with no compunction or hesitation. And he's not completely safe with all people either. He had quite a sad background. He was just neglected and abused. I don't think he was fought. He doesn't have the scars of a dog that's been fought. But he was emaciated. His puppy collar had to be surgically removed. He just had a rotten time. He was 2 years old when they got him in at the SPCA, and he was 28 pounds on admission. He was an incredibly skinny 44 pounds when I got him. This looks like such a violent sector to attempt rebuilding a ship. Pardon me. And he's now a quite healthy, not really overweight, bulky, but he doesn't need to lose more than 2 or 3 pounds max. His last weighing, he was like 77.5 or something pounds. And he's similar weight to that now. So he's hovering around that area. And that's a healthy weight for him. When I first had him, I took him for walks, and his back legs would fall out from under him if we walked a long way. And he'd fall on the ground and pick himself up and walk on again. And I thought, oh God, I've got a dog with bad nerves. What am I going to do? And it wasn't his nerves at all. He just hadn't walked. Ever. He'd never been out. He'd never seen running water. He'd never seen a refrigerator. He'd never been inside a house. It's just, it makes me get upset just thinking about it. I'm not mad upset. I know the people that had them were just fools of one sort or another, didn't know what they were doing. But I just feel upset when I think about it. Poor animal. There's so many people in just as bad straits. Here I am helping a dog, but it's what I can do. I couldn't help a people. I'm too poor and I'm too limited to help a people. But I can help a dog. I can give a dog a life. Oh, they are wrecking that trading post again, and I am just greedy for the leavings. I guess this thing is a giant space vulture. But I'm going to have to leave it here and try my build, because I don't have editing software. And I don't know if you want to watch me picking the frippin' turrets off things. You know, picking the turrets off. So you've met the star chicken, and she may end up being the current build for a while. Let's take her back to build mode. Don't crash, Avorion. Avorion occasionally dumps you when you do that. But it seems to remember everything so far, so they're great. She is kind of a cool looking ship. The firing window's awful. It's such a problem, and the harvesting laser is even worse, so she just has trouble making money. She can't fill her belly, basically. She's deformed. One of her wings is deformed, too, you know, like if you really want to look hard. One of her wings is deformed. She's funny at birth, and, you know, it was a little twisted coming out of the egg or something. A big stomp of blue feet. It's just solid thrusters. It's ludicrous. We'll put it in control mode. Or no, what we'll do is we'll give the ship some gigantic velocity, both angular and forwards. Look how long she can sprint, and look how fast she can sprint. We're going 6 kilometers a second, so dangerous if there's anything in our way. But we'll do that, and then we'll put her in build mode. Then we can probably watch the thrusters. They're not doing much. Oh, there they go. We can watch the thrusters activate so we can see them all blasting away. There's little Deanie ones on there. Oh, that shield shimmer, though. I think they ought to disable it in build mode so that you don't have to turn the ambient doodle whammy on and off. That'd be kind of nicer. But you know what? The developer is working hard on this game, and they've made a fabulous game, and that is a pretty miniature complaint, because you can just switch it on and off yourself. At least I think. I haven't tried it yet, but I think if you switched off the ambient occlusion button, I think your shield shimmer would stop. Anyway, there we are. We're done. Aliens are coming back again. I don't want to fight anymore with the Great Sky Chicken today. She's a fine ship, lads and lassies. A fine ship. And boy, she can do that chicken sprint forever. She can just do that chicken sprint forever. Look at that. We're not even denting our generator cap. Let's go to ship menu. Go to power. There we go. We're just finishing off the generator and hitting the power cap now. Turn it off. Awesome. Thank God there wasn't a rock in front of us. Would have been so disastrous. And there we are. Super Space Chicken. Let's roll her over so she does a whole bunch of maneuvers for us. Pretty chicken. Let's do that again at a distance. I know that's ridiculous, but it makes the chicken roll around. Or it doesn't this time. I don't care. There she is. Star Chicken introduced. You may come back to find me flying an office block, or you may come back to find me flying some purpose-built smaller vehicles that fit inside my resources better and can build up to make a fleet, which is sort of the end thing here. There, I like being this far out. It's actually probably safer for what I'm planning to be this far out from the main center of action. So, until next time, folks, bye for now.